This is an old Webley Victor barrel, not in the best condition. Let's have a look. It's got a bit of relief at the beginning, a throat as it were. The rifling looks okay, but the grooves between the lands look a little bit rough. The crown doesn't look bad at all. Same thing again. This is a Webley Falcon. Again, a little bit rough and ready. There we go. And again, a decent crown from new. This one is a Weihrauch HW90. A little bit rougher than I would have expected, and machine marks in there. More machine marks. To be honest, I'm a little bit surprised it wasn't smoother. And there we are. This air rifle had no throat at all. And quite a neat crown, but nothing special. Now this one is Weihrauch HW35, which I have had for 45 years, had it from brand new. Never liked it. Fired thousands of pellets down it in my youth. Nothing special in there. Certainly no better than the cheap Webleys. We'll go to the end. A bit of muck in there. And there we are at the crown. Which I'm surprised isn't more worn. The rifling isn't very even either. Here we have a 30-year-old BSA Meteor that's been barely used at all. So far it's probably the best rifling of all. A few machine marks. Had a nice throat in it. Now, I think these are a fairly underrated, cheap and cheerful air rifle. And so far I would say this is probably the best barrel. And a nice neat crown there. Could be tidied up, but well, these were entry-level air rifles. Here we have a BSA Mercury of similar vintage. Nice neat throat. Fairly tidy rifling. The barrel itself looks a little bit rough. I really liked these air rifles when I was a lad. I never had one of my own though. Well, so far I think my conclusion is the BSA Meteor was the best barrel. This is quite even, but it certainly seems, well, the crown isn't as good as the Meteor either. This one is my own Falcon PCP. Single shot PCP which I have found to be supremely accurate. And we can see straight away that this barrel is by far the best of the ones we've seen so far. I believe they're Walther barrels. Right up to the end. The crown's okay, but it isn't quite as tidy as I expected. So I think we could do to get the end of that bit of rifling is a bit worn. So maybe this could do with recrowning. Now we're inside a Parker Hale 270, Winchester 270. Quite crisp rifling. This gun has barely been used. I bet it hasn't fired 100 rounds. It's quite old, probably 30 or 40 years old. And now I'm so glad I never fitted a moderator to it, or it would be as rusty as the 22-250. I would say that's a fairly good barrel for a fairly cheap rifle. The Parker Hales always were a respected but moderately priced gun. The crown is excellent. Good.